And this is the link. We're live.
Alright, thank you for the link. Thank you, my good sir Arnaud.
You open the short.
What? How do you know?
I see your stop loss change.
Oh.
So you open a short and you are no break even, right?
Yeah. I actually just moved my stop loss down because short is in quite good effect.
We are 5 now. Welcome everyone.
Okay, welcome. Okay, guys, feel free to ask any questions. Me and Arnaud are going to answer them as best as we can. About market, about Bitcoin, about Corona if you need to, because we are experts on that already.
Yeah, of course. We are locked down and so on.
Man, I've been stuck in this quarantine for some time now, you know, it's situation here in my country is pretty bad, but not as horrible as in Italy, right?
Yeah, Italy is the worst.
Yeah, I mean Spain as well, but I've seen America right now. Holy crap, America is taking some big hits as well.
Yep, in Belgium right now, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, but are your stores like empty and stuff, you know, or like?
What?
Are your grocery stores, are they empty in Belgium or?
There was a bit, but not that much, and no terrorist queue with 2 meter between each person. So, and we are in lockdown, so I think it will be okay. It won't be as harsh as Italy, I hope, but we'll see.
Yeah, let's see. Well, I guess then we can start out with this yet another webinar, right? The last one we had, let's see, on 17, and if I'm not mistaken, it was around here, right? 17. Oh, it was at a... What? It was that bad back? No, wait, it was 17 of March. Yeah, I guess it was.
Yeah,
so we were back here. Okay. Well, this was the area, and I think I even talked about this when I posted what's this analysis for Bitcoin on the weekly. I do it on the weekends on the 4C, right? Basically talking about this area, how important this area is. If we hold this, we can go higher, and higher did we go, right? Higher did we go for a while. We touched it 3 times, but we finally managed to higher it because we held it each time as well, right? That's super important, right? So I guess I don't have to remind everybody that on higher time frames we are still bearish, right? Still looking the macro chart out, it's playing out, but we are still bearish. But this test of the lows right here was really good, and this weekly close above here really good for us to go higher around this area to go for short, or even around this one, right? We don't know which one of these ones will go for it yet, right? The only thing right now is we can only watch the macro, I mean the low time frame trends, right? And right now, going into this one, right? Everything was fine and dandy around here, right? So for us, for us to go higher here, we would have to hold this, right? So then we would do something like that. But in case we just went all lower, 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 and we still held the area which was important to us, right, for us to go higher. But now the whole thing's kind of complex itself, right? Because you did get a nice bounce up, which held this time held the mid, right? Held the mid, and you went even higher. And now it's the last thing what you do on the second touch that you want to reject this top here again, right? And even if you did reject, you would have to hold this area, right? But we are starting to fail right now, and now we're gonna go down. So that puts us in a quite of a pickle here, because we are now still hanging by a thread. If we're going to continue being bullish for up to 8k, like we said on the higher time macro time frame, right? This is keeping us on a peak. If we can even reach this area, because we might have actually seen the top today here, right? It's still too soon to say, but on 4 hours, on 4 hours it doesn't look that terrible yet on the lower time frames it does, right? So yeah, a lot of people can say now that what if we just retrace to down here, right, and then pump from here. But you know, most likely what happens when you do this, when you have structure like this, when you have double top, right, most likely you do something like this, right? That's the most likely scenario to happen right now, that we're gonna go down and probably test this area again, and then probably we're not gonna hold it for the second time, and then do something like this and go even lower, right? So that's what I'm super worried right now. I don't want to go under this, right? I just, in the best case scenario, I would want to say I want to hold this and possibly make a breakthrough for higher, right? That would be my best case scenario in this time. So if I'm going to down this, I'm gonna start getting iffy, right? So my best case is going to here, holding this area, which are we right now in, holding this, going higher, and possibly hitting that 8k like we said, right? But I already hate that we are kind of hesitating in this area, right? I mean, I'm not really happy camper about it, if you could say it like that, right? Yeah, so as I said, on larger time frames, still bearish. Bitcoin hasn't gained something for weeks. I mean, we came really close here, but look at it. We had the same thing right here. I mean, not even making up, right? We had the same thing, like kind of you also almost got that double top, almost gained it, right? But you didn't, and then it just started going down, right? It's a kind of same situation that we have right here, but on the smaller time frames, right? I mean, you can see it, Arnaud, right? We kind of got this thing going on here with that same kind of double top, right, thingy. Because we didn't gain it, right? We can now just start turning going down again. So yeah, this area really important. If we lose this, I'm gonna start looking for shorts even more. I am even currently in the short right now, open short around here. Move my stop to break even, and then see if it's gonna slide under this. And just continue holding and adding to my shorts. So then my add-on would be, if it goes under this, it's either gonna be something like this, or if it's gonna go even lower, I'm gonna hope for something like this, right? This would be where I would be adding to my shorts, personally. Bitcoin still doesn't look as bad as Ethereum does. Let me see which one is. Oh, that's Bitfinex, yeah. Ethereum is actually again, and I do mean again, falling behind Bitcoin, right? So yeah, for Ethereum, same area stands here, right? We had to wait, same area stand. Okay, so we had to hold this for us to go higher, and now we have to hold this for us to have any chances higher, right? But look at the one key point, right? Ethereum never went as high as this, which Bitcoin did, right? And never gained this side, right? So also rejected again. So right now this even looks worse than Bitcoin, right? So this one even looks more inclined to go down than Bitcoin ever did, right? So that's also a issue on Ethereum. And if you go an Ethereum Bitcoin chart, if I'm not mistaken, yep, like with drone, if you don't hold this area, right, we're going down, and this is exactly what's happening, guys. We did it at the last time, it was like 17th of March, yeah, so we were right here the last time we did webinar. Said if we're not holding this area, we're going down, guys, and this is exactly what is happening right now. Exactly, and now we can either bounce here, around here, right, yeah, bounce around here, that would be the area to bounce, or perhaps we can even go all the way down here. Depends on how the crisis is gonna be big, right? We also gotta take into account the crisis right now, which is quite unaccountable, right? We cannot really predict what's gonna happen in the terms of coronavirus and everything else, but you can see that Ethereum, Bitcoin, Ethereum Ethereum itself, it's falling behind a lot versus Bitcoin. I mean, look at this, right? Look at this chart. It's gonna go. It looks like it's gonna go for a newer, no, a newer low again, right? Which is not something you really want to see, right? I mean, it's not something. So yeah, again, guys, if you're trying to ask some questions, you can also, type them into YouTube chat, and we will answer it to best of our ability, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Still no question for now.
Yep, no questions. Okay. So my future plan. Oh yeah, sorry, I did tell. For Bitcoin, it's like this. Do I have any higher time frame plans? Yes. I'm gonna say that again because I'm pretty sure people want to hear high time frames plans, right? Mostly than low time frames for right now. So yeah, for now I'm still gonna consider that we have chances of going up here, right? This is gonna be my short area from around here to around here. Sorry. Oh jeez. No. Let me just do a rectangle. That's gonna be my short area. Why is this gonna be my short area? Pretty easy, guys, right? Because if we don't gain upon this, then the bear continues, right? The bear continues. So where's the best spot to short, right? Between these areas, because if you gain this, the bear continues. I mean, if you gain above this, you go bullish, right? So you want to short. Where is the last rejection point for you to go bullish, right? Because that's the point where most of the people will start floating in and getting bullish into the charts, which means a lot of big whales will be filled with shorts, and after they're gonna be filled with shorts, they're gonna drop it down, right? So in the previous case, we started shorting already here, right? In the previous case, we started shorting already here, but this was sort of a deviation, right? And this almost faked us out. We had stopped right above this, right? And if it came out all the way out of this, it would turn us bullish, but it failed at the last second and just dropped it down, right? So we were just feeling our shorts all the way up, and this is the same thing we're gonna do right now, right? Once we hit this point, we're gonna start feeling shorts all the way up, right? We're gonna start feeling, and if it and stop loss above this. If it gets above this, it's done, right? We're considering a bullish market, right? They tried to push it with this, and let me tell you, I was screaming manipulation all the time, right? You remember that, Arnaud? I was telling this is manipulation as its best, right?
Yep.
And I'll tell you why. Because we were supposed to be rejecting here, right? This was so bearish what it did here, right? And it was perfect alignment with this. And they just sort of, after we did such a bearish action, they just pumped it, right? And they did it again, this, and just pumped it, right? And this is what I've been explaining, right? I mean, you see this stuff on altcoins, right? They do the stairs.
Yeah.
And Bitcoin doesn't do stairs, right? Bitcoin just moves in fractals, like, So yeah, when I saw stairs like this, I was like immediately, okay, this is being manipulated, so it's gonna drop sooner or later. Just had to wait for it, right? And it dropped, it did, it was pretty obvious. Then obviously, coronavirus hit in at the worst possible time for Bitcoin, right? Because we were expecting a reaction from here, right? And look what happened, we just went straight down. Just no one gave a shit, right? I mean, people were liquidating, Corona was infecting people hard, so people got scared, and we just came down, right? And after that, right, this was the last point where you could fill longs, right? If this point failed, we would have seen 1.8k. We would go right down here, right? So this was the last point where we had to long the shorts. I mean, we had to start buying Bitcoin back, and this is again what we did. So yeah, right now the plan is we fill in shorts in this area like I said. This is mostly spot buys. You don't want to fill your shorts on a high leverage, right? Because obviously you're not gonna last long if you're gonna fill it on a high leverage, right? And then you're also obviously expecting long-term target under 3k, somewhere around 2.5k to 1.8k. That would be your target. This would actually take us to a new low, right? And then speaking, then you would sort of get this. Then we are hoping for the rally, which would last a little bit, right? Which last sort of start gaining something, and then after we will gain this, depends on when this will be, if it's even gonna be here or if it's gonna be here, right? When we gain this, we can confirm a bullish market and start going higher on Bitcoin, right? But until then, bear market continues. That's the most easiest scenario I can paint of to sort of give you guys perspective no more long-term plays, right? And right now, it's too late for longs, but it's not too late for shorts. You can still get a good shorts, and it's enough if you even sell your Bitcoin. You don't have to short it. Just, start selling your Bitcoin right up here, right? there's a small chance that we might reject already here, right? A small chance because we have a big crisis, okay? But I'm just saying, just start selling your Bitcoin, right? Just start selling your Bitcoin until it turns around, right? And then just start buying it when it goes down. It's easy as that. You don't have to hold it, and you don't have to be scared that you will miss the bull market. But in case if that does happen, you go above this, then just buy your Bitcoins back. And you're like, the potential for you to make profits is like, what? This is like, you can expect like 6,000 to 5,000 drop here, right? But if it stops you, that's only like $2,000 difference, right? So you're making a lot more money. You're risking a lot less if it's going, if you sell it than if you're not selling, just holding it through all year long, right? Or just, in this case, you can also use our smart USD bot, which does its job very well to protecting your USD value, right?
Yep.
Sebastian Karlstedt, hello, I wanted to ask if there's any tutorial for position size. Couldn't find one. Also, should I sell my altcoin hodl positions for now? Well, Sebastian, I was the thing is like this. I was telling a lot about stuff, selling about altcoins, and the problem right now is it's kind of late to sell, because if you look at XRP and stuff like this, it is at the end of the day, it is on the new lows, right? It's going to new lows. So right now, for me to tell you where this is gonna stop, it's probably gonna get a reaction here, probably gonna have something here, right? But that's still far away. So telling you where it's gonna exactly turn around, for now it's almost impossible. So wouldn't be a good projection if I told you to sell on the coin that went on a new low, right? The thing is also in Binance, if you check these coins, right, most of the shit is just going to a new low, right? We can't really do anything about that, right? It's just going, and they're most likely gonna be wrecked as hell, right? I mean, most of the coins, if you look at it, right, didn't even reach the main levels of the chart, right? I mean, this was exactly like the main rejection point, right? It didn't even reach it. It came close, but it didn't reach it. Now it's probably just gonna do something like this, right? You can also only hope that this thing right here, right, that this thing, because most of the charts looks like this right now for altcoins, right? I think TRX looks exactly like this, and Litecoin and stuff like that, right? The only thing we can hope for coins right now to do, since we had this, right? So now we can only hope that they start doing something like this, right, and then going up. This is our best bet. I mean, enter accumulation area. But can this happen? That's the question, because we are in the middle of the crisis here right now. So Corona, not only Corona, even if we fix the Corona for right now, I mean, I'm pretty sure we can call this times recession, right? Because at the end of the day, we check DJI, right, which is Dow Jones Index. I mean, the thing tanked for like 38%, right? And now if you look at it, we also on Corona, we also have like 40% people, 40k people a day getting infected already, right? And the number previous week on Monday was only 11k people per day, So we are doubling numbers every like 3 to 4 days now in infections rate, right? So really not sure if holding the shitcoins in a time like this is a smart idea, right? So we can even check SP, right? Futures, SP 500 futures. Yeah, still a possibility, right? Oh yeah, so this was the tactic I was explaining last time. So the first buy was right here, right? The first buy for the big fishes was right here. Their second buy is probably gonna be here, and then third buy is gonna be here, right? Then the whole thing's gonna, they hoping it's gonna, when the crisis is over. It can still take it can still take 2 years to get to down here, right? But at least their first buy was hit, which is like minus 30%, right? If I'm not mistaken about the strategy. Yeah, minus 30% buy was hit. And it totally traced for now. Let me see it. It totally traced for 36%, and right now, if they bought, they're about break even. Yeah, if they bought right here, they're about break even almost. But this is how they build the big positions, right? Because let's be honest, if this thing goes any lower than this, I'm gonna say this. If this thing goes any lower than this, right? Sorry, let me see. Yeah, that would be right. If this thing goes any lower than this is pretty much the origin of this entire bomb, right? There's gonna be huge issues. We're gonna have huge issues in the world, because this is from 2000. This is bottom of 2008, and yeah, this is bottom of crisis in 2008, and this is the bottom of that previous crisis that they had in 1908 or something like that, right? So we can't imagine going under this. we can't imagine going on this line. I mean, some people and companies would seriously get wrecked, and we would probably have some biggest issues on the world as well. Maybe even a war, right? Because let's not forget, whoopsie, let's not forget that U.S. oil is pretty banked up, right? And everything around this world revolves around oil, and we are down here at $20, right? We only went to $20, so definitely here I would long oil right here in this box. It's around like $17 to like down here I would want. But I know for a fact that their break-even price, I mean for Arabian break-even price to make an oil is up here, right? So right now they're doing a huge loss, right? Every barrel they produce, it's a huge loss for them. It's like mining Bitcoin, right? If you mine it, it's a huge loss. I mean, not now, but after halving, it's probably gonna be a loss. Will I transfer the altcoins into Smart USD? I guess. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Much better than holding shitcoins. I'm telling you, it's probably your Smart USD bot is gonna make you more on the long term than holding these altcoins, unless you know some things really change and crypto starts getting that bullish thing again, right? That it always had. Because when you see stuff like this, like oil and everything like this is painful, right? I mean, obviously. So yeah, also Russia is doing something to counter America with oil in the oil war. So yeah, definitely. The only surprising thing that goes up in times like this, it's gold, right? Which was, I guess, it was expected that gold would go up. Definitely it holds a lot. Oops, definitely. Wait, why is it not showing me weekly? Oh, it just takes a longer time to. Just takes a longer time to repent. Okay. So yeah, gold. Let's see, gold retraced down to like 14% and then bounced right back. This was expected, you know, because gold usually when it comes to crisis, gold performs really well, right? And a lot of people are tying gold with Bitcoin, right? But okay. Looking from this, okay, so yeah, Bitcoin and gold are doing the same right now, okay? So the only difference is gold didn't retrace as much as Bitcoin, right? And it only retraced what it gained in the like previous couple of weeks. So after Corona started around here, they only gain, and they only retraced for 100% and now pumping again, right? So by that I mean 100% of this pump that was triggered right here, right? And now they're back on, like almost break even, right? So gold didn't overreact like Bitcoin, right? So I don't know why people tie gold to Bitcoin so much, because gold is performing way better than Bitcoin, right? And look again, right? Like if Bitcoin is this, right? And we're like this, right? We have to break this, right? I mean, look at gold. Gold is like right here, man. If gold breaks this, stop, man. This is considered a bullish market, so gold is gonna go bullish. Of course, it took it way longer than Bitcoin ever did. I mean, it took it like what 2,400 days for to accumulate. But look at this accumulation, right? This is exactly what I was talking on this altcoins. What you want to see for them to go up, right? You want to see this sideways action. Then you create this V where everybody dumped under here, but the smart players bought, and then you pumped over this top, right? And then you do something like this and you moon, right? This is exactly what you did. You just accumulate and moon, right? It's a perfect gold example, a perfect accumulation pattern. But okay, that thing did last about 2,200 days, right? So you gotta have your patience. but again, anyways, it formed it perfectly, right? Even if you checked out fee, right? I mean, if I did from fee from top to bottom, it probably stopped at around 50%. Also, actually, it went a little bit under 50%. Okay, so that's false, yeah. But if it would have stopped right here, I mean, it would be perfect. And I guess there's no coincidence that when it hit the first time, the 50%, right? It had a reaction for 17%. I guess this was no coincidence because people were mostly waiting for it right here, right? But yeah, this is great, you know. Gold so far looking really great. Against BTC, not so much, right? So I don't have no idea why people type gold so much to BTC, right? Litecoin, let's see, Litecoin, what did Litecoin do lately? Oh boy. Yep, Litecoin looking like exact same thing. I don't even know if it's... Litecoin already had... Okay, its trading view seems to be a little bit slow today. You know, Litecoin already did this nice accumulation. It did this and it pumped, right? And it should break this like we said, but it didn't. And now it just returned back down, so I don't think this is bullish anymore. It's either gonna do a higher dip now, or it's just gonna go under low and then do something else. I'm not sure, right? But this doesn't look that bullish anymore, sadly. Nope. So I'm guessing it's pretty much the same for other alts. Let me see. Yep, same thing for other alts. It's going for the new low. This is not bullish anymore. So right now, supposedly it's gonna hit this area. Wait, did it hit this area? Oh no, it didn't hit. So right now we can be looking at hitting this area, right? ADH. Hit this area again. Yeah, but this doesn't look good. So for ADH we can actually have, we never created a V, so now we have possibility of doing something like this, and then Moonin, right? So ADH kinda looks the best out of them all in terms of being bullish, but definitely not something I would brag about, right? And yeah, see, like we said, TRX, same shit, right? Something like this, and look exactly it's doing, right? It's exactly, no, it's not bullish at all, right? It's just looking like it's gonna drop. Even on high time frames, let me see, weekly, yeah, it just looks like it's gonna die. I guess it's not time, right? I guess it's just not time. Let's see BTC dominance chart. That could give us some insight. Okay, so look at that. This is now important area to see if it's gonna hold, right? If this one doesn't hold, then you also have this one, it should for sure. If this one holds, then it's gonna drop, right? I mean, this one, then, because this is what you need to break to become, right, quote unquote bullish on market dominance chart, right? So if this breaks, if this doesn't break, it's gonna go down, right? But let's be honest, right? I mean, to Bitcoin being the only safe coin right now, is possibly gonna moon in dominance because people are giving up on altcoins, right, and just want to hold the Bitcoins. Sebastian, is there any investments you can hedge these days other than smart USD? Yeah, like I said, Sebastian, right now the best hedge is probably gold for the crisis times, right? Gold is probably the best hedge when it comes to real markets, but I'm gonna tell you, even better hedge is real estates, right? Real estates are the ones things, but I'm not talking like any real estates. They have to be real estates in good locations, right? Because they might lose a little bit of value, right? But in long term, they will not lose the value. They will even gain it, right? So it's the best time to protect. But obviously, during times like that, you gotta have some money in your pocket, right? I mean, you gotta have some money either in your socks or at home or pockets or bank or anything, right? You just gotta have some money somewhere, right? Yep, that would be pretty much it. So do we have some more questions, guys, or we can then slowly wrap this one up? We have covered all the major things, right? I don't think we missed anything.
Yeah, the main altcoin, BTC, ETH. No more question.
No more questions, yep.
So I think this is it.
Okay, this is it. Let me just check. We had one. Oh yeah, let's see if how Argo USDT did. Gonna add that one. So Argo USDT. It's a question if it's gonna hold this. Has to hold this for us to go higher. We had this one on Instagram. Has to hold this for us to go higher now. Can be a little bit wider. So we'll see if this one plays out. If Bitcoin drops, then it's probably not gonna play out again because every alt is tied to Bitcoin. Sebastian, also real estate ETFs maybe. You know how it is. You know, ETFs can easily drop. You know, real estate ETFs can easily drop during crisis. It just, you know, because at the end of the day, it's just a piece of paper, you know, Sebastian, and you're not holding the actual physical thing, right? You're not holding the actual. Yeah, even if you bought gold right now, I wouldn't be longing gold, right? I would buy a physical gold, right? Actual gold, and just store it somewhere, you know what I'm saying? So that, because paper during crisis doesn't help you much. Paper is worthless, right? So, and you know, these are really difficult times because essentially all the countries are calling out their armies, you know, and people are going crazy, right? I mean, like in Europe it's fine yet, but outside Europe, like Serbia and countries like that, they're gonna run out of food if this continues, right? And if they run out of food, you know, anarchy starts hitting in. So a piece of paper won't help you during the times like that, right? Yep, pretty much every alt just went and dropped. Holy shit, look at that. They just went and dropped, nothing helped. Standard alts, right, when they have such a low liquidity, it's just standard stuff. But there's no market makers, it's really hard to trade alts, really hard. because they just don't react to anything. They just start dropping. Like look at this one, right? I mean, you barely get any reactions, and then it just drop, right? I mean, it's just not, because this bar here was obviously pushed up by Micromaker and then just crashed, right? Crash as soon as possible. It's like as soon as you pump, you even drop. I mean, as with the speed that you pumped, you even drop, and sometimes you even drop faster than you pumped, right? I mean, even Link is no exception to this, right? I mean, they pushed it too far, boom, right? Dropped fast. Oh, we actually had a pretty nice reaction here, Arnaud. See that? My gosh, that was like 4 hours straight. Look at that, feel perfectly pumped. Nice.
Yeah, it was quick, but yeah.
But still, like a good block, right? And here, look at this. Here we got filled, pumped. But unfortunately didn't go above the top, so only got 1 profit target. Not too bad, right? So I'm guessing right now that it's not holding any area. The next area is gonna be somewhere around down here. We'll have to watch for it, yeah. Jesus, everything is wrecked. Well, okay guys, I guess we're gonna be wrapping this up for today. Thank you for following us, right? We'll be seeing you next week at this around same time, same day, right?
See you next
We
week,
can do
guys.
another analysis. Yep. See you next week. Take care, guys, and see you next week.